Hello and welcome back to another episode of the MindSets podcast. 94th episode.
I'm not going to say it.
We're old. That's how it always ends up going. We talk for a bit and then we go, we're old.
Yeah.
We're just going to cut that out.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say that, but I was going to say we're getting through it.
We are getting really close.
I had a really good idea today for what we can do on the 100th episode.
Go on.
On my run. And we're going to do... In fact, no. I'm not going to spoil it for the listeners.
I thought we were going to do the triathlon thing that we discussed like 2 episodes ago.
See, I do love that idea, but I think I've got a better, more feasible...
Are you going to tell me? Are you going to tell me when they're not listening?
For sure.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
That's fine.
Yeah, don't worry. I'm not going to hold that from you.
Unlucky guys. Welcome back. This week we are doing a relatively low lift episode, I would say, because there is still quite a lot to talk about in the HYROX World Championships now that it has happened, and it would be off-brand for us to not go through all of the drama.
Yeah, nice.
Obviously, we'll get through each race from the World Champs as we go, but we have to start each episode off with the sporting news of the world. First thing I'm going to start us off with is that we're not going to go through every single game of the World Cup.
No.
Do you know why? Because I don't think either of us have watched a second of it.
It would be unauthentic, wouldn't it?
It would be bad. One thing I will note, 2 things. England won.
Yeah, nice.
Good start. That was last week. If you're listening to this the week of England's second game, we don't know yet.
I thought you were going to say we've won again.
We have won again. I mean,
maybe
if we don't, then crazy.
Yeah.
But it's coming home, so of course we've won.
Yeah.
And I also saw that Germany won like 7-3 or something like that. 7-1 maybe. Silly score. Embarrassing.
Do you know what we were saying before this was the reason why I now love the World Cup is because whenever England play, everything is so dead. It's so quiet. You can go wherever you want and there's nobody there. It's just unreal.
My gym shows the World Cup, but no one's watching it from the gym.
Obviously not.
So like you can actually do both.
Yeah. You can
really
have
good.
like 3 benches with all your stuff on it. And
I think that's where I'll be tonight, 9 p.m, because that's where the kickoff is. Now we've got that out of the way, we can do the 2-minute news. So do you want to kick us off?
we're going to try and do it in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
3, 2, 1, go.
So over this weekend, we had the British champs, the athletics. There was a dominant Georgia Hunter Bell who took home the victory. Jake Whiteman, also on flying form. He beat Ben Patterson, who was the reigning champ over, I think it was 800 meters. Jake usually runs slightly longer, 1500. Keely, unfortunately, she had some really good performances in the warm-up rounds, but she pulled out of the 400 final. Obviously, she's dropped down a distance from the 800, but I think she got a twinge when she was warming up on doing some strides, so she pulled out of there. This one's super niche, but if you're into athletics, there's a very well-known 400 hurdler called Alistair Chalmers. He's had a baby last week, so 5 days before he's raced. He won his 400 meter hurdles, and he hasn't been beaten, I think, I've made a note somewhere there, for every race since 2020, maybe apart from one race. Like, he's proper dominant in like the British athletics scene, so he's doing really well. Cycling news: Tadej Pogacar and Marlene Russa secured the Tour de Suisse titles, which means that just Tadej's on flying form as always, and he's probably going to just absolutely wreck everyone in the Tour de France. Messi, I know we're not going to talk about the World Cup games, but he's winning all of his games, scoring all of the goals.
And yeah, he's got the most goals in FIFA World Cup history.
Is that an actual?
That's an actual fact.
I mean, he's put the debate to bed. He's better than Ronaldo. He's probably the best footballer ever.
I said this to you pre-show, the goal that he scored that and got that landmark with. So he's running down the side of the field, cuts in, passes the ball to someone who takes way too long to think about taking a shot, let alone actually doing it. They take it, it gets saved. Then there's a bit of a faff around. He comes in and makes a tackle. He shoots, it's saved, and then he just taps it back in again from an impossible angle. And from start to finish, it's just Lionel Messi.
Yeah, he doesn't need his team, does he?
Crazy.
Keep it moving then. Gallagher Prem final on the weekend. Northampton Saints, the boys, the Shoe Army, they brought it home, which was really, really fun. The best part about that whole thing, though, the celebration, they beat Exeter Chiefs in the end relatively convincingly. But they did all of the celebrations, and then they had the winners parade. So the open top buses in Northampton the following day on Sunday, and they're all up on stage in like the main market square in Northampton. Alex Coles plays for England, second row for Saints, grabs the microphone, And he said, I'm going to use this opportunity for good. And he calls out the Northampton Council and shouts how bad the potholes are in Northamptonshire.
That's exquisite British culture.
So good.
That's on a level with talking about the weather.
Yeah, so I think he's had now a back and forth with the Northampton Council about the potholes, but it's like on the stage they've got the Gallagher Premiership Cup there, they've all got their medals on, they're spraying champagne, they're all chanting, everyone's cheering, and he's like, grabs the mic, he's like, the potholes are a disaster. It was so good, so good. And then bring it all the way back to HYROX. They've announced that World Champs next year. You seen that?
I have.
Hong Kong. Yeah.
Which is very far away.
So far.
So far away. And do you know what's worse about it? The dates are provisional. So now that you know it's Hong Kong, you can't go and sort yourself out with accommodation because it's provisional. And also flights aren't actually available yet for that far in advance.
I like that you have that much confidence that there's potential for me to qualify to go. You're going for work, I assume.
I hope so.
yeah.
But yeah, no, it's provisional at the moment. The thing that's
I'm
terrifying,
provisional also.
The thing that's terrifying is for Stockholm, just gone, for those that are regular people and aren't super organized, that booked their flights anytime really in the last 6 months, to get a direct flight or a flight even with one stop in both directions would cost you around, minimum £500.
Wow.
For a 2-hour flight. Some people in the last few weeks have been paying £1,100 to fly to 2 different airports on their way to Stockholm.
That's crazy.
And then the accommodation was twice as bad.
But it was also like midsummer as well. Yeah, so it wasn't good planning.
It was a perfect weekend to do it on because it was really cool to have all of that going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, just no. And also, for those that don't know, midsummer, I spoke to some of the Swedes out there about it, is possibly the most wholesome thing I've ever heard of.
Yeah.
It apparently is bigger, arguably bigger than Christmas over there. But they have like Midsummer Eve, which is the day before, and it's all around the longest day of the year because the sun just doesn't go down at all, which is really weird, but actually really cool.
Yeah.
They don't just party. They don't drink all night. That's not what they do. They go out into the countryside to their family's place. They go to parks, have those poles that you dance around, and they literally all just dance and have nice food.
Yeah,
and
the food looks...
It's so like family oriented and friend oriented if they don't want to be with their family. Like, it's so adorable.
That sums up what I think about like Scandinavian culture.
Yeah.
It's just like so nice and polite and
like the whole thing's clean and no one's a mess and
so
everything.
Clean,
it's so good.
Nice. Yeah.
I've also come away from the weekend and I've decided that my favorite pastime, other than obviously podcasting, is being in a European country on an e-scooter. I think it is the best possible way to spend your money.
But e-scootering in London is truly the worst thing ever.
Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah, but anywhere else,
it's so good.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Let's
wait, hang on. I just saw also Ellie Kildunn.
Oh yeah,
our favorite person to talk about. She's finally announced that she's signed with Bristol.
And didn't we think she was going to Bath?
Sale
were the ones commenting, and they ruined it for themselves.
I don't know who. Someone commented. Yeah. It could have been, actually.
They ruined it for themselves. We called it.
I saw lots of teams, like just low-level amateur teams, being like creating posts saying our new signing is Ellie Kildunn, which I thought was quite funny.
Yeah.
And then cricket fans, I don't know if there's anyone out there who's a cricket fan, but England and New Zealand are now tied up for the test, with the final test to play. I think they're going to Trent Bridge next. But I think England just struggling off the back of all of the disciplinary stuff with Ben Stokes. And so we'll see if they can pull it out the bag on the final test.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was 2 minutes and a lot of injury time, I think it's fair to say.
It's like no way that was 2 minutes anything.
Well done for remembering, because I didn't do my job and help you out with the teleprompter.
You did. I did see you trying to make it bigger for me.
Yeah, I did.
I was struggling at one point.
This weekend then, we have
let's talk about it.
5 races to go through.
Yeah.
I think there's one race we'll probably spend longer on.
I'm sure.
So the first race, women's race in the solos, was won by Alyssa McElhenney. Dominant from
amazing.
Genuinely throughout.
Yeah.
And then we had, okay, now this is throwing me off as well. We had Joanna, but Joanna Vietrich is what I have always said. It's what 90% of people have said. That's not how she says it.
She's corrected it.
She says Wetrick.
Does she?
She says wet trick, which is hilarious because I spoke to her about this at the weekend, and she said, that's what I say. I don't actually think that's right, but that's how I say my name.
You've got to go how she says it.
I know, but I think in Polish it might actually be Wittrick, but that's not how she says it. So then it's wet trick. And if Faisal was listening to this, I have to apologize because every single time he's introduced her, I'm always like, you could just do yourself a service and ask her how to say her own name.
Yeah.
And I have been saying that, defending her name, which I'm technically saying incorrectly.
I don't know how easy that's going to be for me to get out of the habit, but I want to respect the way that she says it.
So we're back to
some
what we were talking about.
Yeah.
Alyssa McElhenney, followed by Joanna Wettrick.
Nice.
And then followed by Sinead Bent. Now,
huge.
If we're going to start off with what we predicted last week, it was not that.
It was not that.
I did say there was an outside chance that Joanna could potentially not win just because sport is sport and things happen.
You did, yeah. I think I disagreed with you as well.
You did.
She's been so dominant over the season. You did.
And we both then said that Lauren would be the other of the two places.
She had a tough race.
Lauren did have a tough race.
Yeah.
I did call Sinead as an outside chance for third place.
And it was like a great call. And she looked amazing. And I'm so happy for her. Honestly, really, really good.
So what happened in the race then? Well, it was pretty uneventful for the ski. What then happened was Lauren Weeks was pushing the pace.
She went out hot.
Really hot.
Real hot.
It was kind of the Hunter McIntyre approach kind of thing.
Actually, off the back of the ski, just quickly, whilst I remember, Emily Darman had like the most ridiculous ski of all time. She came in like last and came out. She'd made 7 places or something.
She's very good.
So good.
I mean, she's really tall as well. So like,
it helps, right? But that was really impressive.
She, Lauren came into the sled first lane. Now, the carpets are inconsistent. I'm just going to put it plain and simple. The carpets were really inconsistent, and Lauren Weeks can push a sled. Lauren Weeks looked like she did not know how to push a sled.
Yeah.
It just was not moving at the same rate. Not to say that anyone else had an easy lane, but Lauren's just looked sticky.
Shame.
So that was tough. She, I think, lost like 7 places on the sled. Yeah. And when she came out, she couldn't run the same speed at all. And then pretty much just, I think she might have gained a few spaces back throughout the race, up and down a bit, but like she was just never in contention from that point onwards, which was really gutting. However, what we then saw was Joanna and Alyssa were kind of hanging around, but Alyssa came out of the sled push first and never gave it back.
Yeah.
And Joanna was probably within a few meters for the next few stations, but eventually Alyssa just ran off with it.
It's really interesting to understand that, because it's like she hadn't been in that position all season.
Yeah, no, not at all.
There hadn't been someone who was like not just pushing her, but like actively taking it to her. And maybe just the pressure of expectation, the pressure of the event, what it meant. I mean, you can't take it away from Alyssa. Like,
no, not at all.
She incredible performance and the whole time.
It was a dominant performance, but it was still close by the end.
Yeah,
we have to give credit to the rest of the field for essentially catching back up. I think one of the biggest things that was, you kind of have to take with a pinch of salt. Alyssa came into this and in her press conference actually said, like, I'm just really fast, so like don't be surprised if I do something. Yeah. And like, I love that confidence, but also she said that when she had, I think,
only run
one race. Decent race, and maybe even, and don't quote me on this, but maybe even only qualified for Worlds by coming like 5th in Warsaw, but it was rolled down.
Yeah,
kind of opportunity. So anyway, Alyssa is a great runner. The thing that caught everyone's eye in Warsaw and was so true for Stockholm, smiled nonstop.
Oh yeah, the whole time.
Absolutely beaming.
Yeah.
Like questionably psycho, but like she's lovely. Yeah, so it can't be that.
It was just like, I'm so happy to be here and like this is so much fun and I'm winning the world champs.
And like by all means, none of it ever looks easy, but the running to her just looked effortless. So she was gliding around that course. It was like silent.
Yeah.
You would see her with your eyes and it would be like watching what it was inevitably going to be on Instagram, like a slow-mo silent post. That's what it looked like watching her. Like she was just cruising.
Yeah.
But
I think she's 36 as well.
Is she?
Yeah, I think off the top of my head, she's 36.
Well, we've got plenty of years left across all of the fields.
And then, do you know how Joanna is?
Yeah, Joanna's 24.
Just like the difference there. Crazy, isn't it?
So I had this conversation with Joanna and Charlie.
Maybe 35. I don't want to give her a disservice. She's going to come after me now.
Either way, I said to both of them, like realistically, if the sport's making you good money, you won't necessarily want to retire.
No.
Unless you feel like you're dropping off a cliff. But you might not want to retire. And I mentioned our episodes where we found out that some of these athletes are performing well enough at 41. Well, it's a bit of a daunting thing when I said to both of Charlie and Joanna, you could be doing this for another 17 years. 17 years.
Imagine, yeah.
That's crazy. Horrible.
Do you reckon they're getting bored of it by then?
I'm surprised they're not bored of it already, to be honest. How many times are they running in circles? The grid was 4 laps per run.
The love of the game.
So, I mean, across the 3 races for Charlie.
Stop.
Stupid amount of laps.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on to the men's race, because this is the hot topic, I think.
Juicy, right.
So to finish off across the line, the final results were Dylan Scott, Louis Oselaire, and Tim Veinish.
Are we going to look at our predictions?
None of us predicted that.
No.
The closest thing is Tim being top 3.
Yeah.
But I think you said that you had Ronk down, then Tim or Hunter.
Yeah.
And I said Tim, then Hunter.
And I was unsure about Hunter, but to be fair on Hunter, I think he had an amazing race. Like, I love the fact that he just took it to everyone and like looked really solid.
Big time. So straight away, out of the gate, you've got Hunter, you've got Ronk, and
Tim. And Luke Greer.
Luke wasn't stuck with them,
No.
which was interesting. I think, I don't want to quote him on this, but he may have gone slightly easier on that first run. The reason that
Luke got to the ski first.
Did he?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I clearly wasn't watching.
Yeah.
But the first run
But left like 4.
was blisteringly quick. Like,
Horrible.
we knew it was going to be,
Horrible,
but and absolutely no shade on the women, but it looked so much more violently quick than any of the women's runs. It was terrifying. So, for reference, Charlie ran one of his fastest run splits ever in his speed and came in something like 10th, 11th.
He wasn't up
and
there.
he just wasn't close to the front of it.
But good then, he didn't panic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What then happened, straight away we had drama. From my perspective, we leave the ski and Cole Learn has got injured because he's just walking away. He's really pissed off, like all of this.
Well, on the broadcast, we don't see that until like way later on.
Yeah.
Like, I'd say maybe 2 stations later, they announced that he's not there.
But because nothing had been said,
Yeah.
I thought, oh, he's injured, that's a shame, whatever. I was walking around to get some different angles and I see he's just there and he's just really pissed off. And I'm like, that's a real shame. It must be a really annoying injury, something that's come back up that would piss you off that much. We later find out, and as you found out on the stream, Cole Learn left the ski erg at 999 meters, which got him disqualified.
Yeah.
The slight asterisk to that is that he left the ski erg station on 1,000 meters.
Yeah.
He stepped off the platform
Yeah.
at 999.
Yeah. And the way that I read it was he like you do. You're at 990, you're like pull. So you get the ticker, you're like turning to look at the judge. You know it's going to click. As he's looking at the judge, I assume the judge has gone, yep. So he's gone. And like,
the thing for me,
he's done 1,000 meters.
Yeah, the thing for me is like the other athletes are doing the exact same thing. So none of them are doing anything more than they have to hit 1,000. He's done the work clearly to hit 1,000 because it ticked over.
That intricacy is like, so then you look at the ruling and there's anywhere between a 15-second penalty and a disqualification. And then you go, well, that seems very, very harsh that he's been disqualified. But the elite 15s are held to the highest standard. So I get that. But there's inconsistencies between the stations on. So in theory, they've followed the rules. I don't think the ruling is fair and they will have to look at it, I'm sure.
Well, my question as well is, without there being camera evidence, is the judge 1,000% sure he stepped off before the tick came on?
But who's made that call? Has the judge that's waved him away made that call?
Yes. So they would make the call and go to the head judge and tell them, because no one else would have been responsible, because also Cole was not the last off the ski. So tough day for him. I now completely understand why he's pissed off, but it gets worse.
Yeah.
But at the time, he was pissed off for that reason.
I didn't want to ruin the...
So we now move into the sled. Yeah. Did you notice on stream that the front 5 guys were all chatting coming into the run and all slowed down?
Yeah.
Now, No one really knew what was going on at the time. Fortunately, I can give some inside intel if people don't know. But they all slowed down because they saw what happened to Lauren Weeks in her race with the first lane. So none of them wanted the first lane.
Oh,
so they were
all joking about it.
They were all joking about it. And so what you
That's
actually had was
really
you had
funny.
a bit of a split from 15th to first.
Yeah.
And then inside the rock zone, there was no difference.
Yeah.
So all of them were going,
That's
I don't
hilarious.
want it. I don't want it. You have it. Go on. And then Ronk was like, fuck it. I'll take it then.
And that ruined his whole race, I reckon.
And then Ronk didn't actually take it. He just went into the second lane and pushed the second sled. And there's always 16 lanes because there's always one spare. So he just took the second one anyway. And I think that's what he'd realised when he took it. So anyway,
then everyone just
unfortunately,
bumped down. Interesting.
everyone bumped down. Unfortunately, did not work out for Sean Noble. Sean came in 5th. And as a result of the absolute mania, he went to go to the 5th sled as someone else took it. So then he goes to the 6th sled, someone else has taken it. He ended up last.
Shut up.
He did the fastest sled push of anyone, I think, and came back out 4th. But in that time, he'd run all the way back to the last sled, pushed it, and overtaken everybody.
Fan of Sean.
We do need to give Hunter some credit here.
Yeah.
He did say, going into this, he would be doing all of the lengths unbroken, and he did exactly that.
If you say it, you got to do it.
Ronkovic tried his best to keep pace, but had to rest.
Yeah.
Now, the interesting thing was that pretty much is probably what ruined both of their races.
Yeah.
Because just too hard too soon, and they both.
I didn't love the I can argue it both ways. I didn't love that kind of the gaming during that second run and like the chatting and the like. I guess it's a bit of fun, but when I looked at that, because they had slowed right down, I noticed that. I didn't know that that was the reason. I just assumed that it was a bit like, well, we're out front and we're the big players here. We're the heavy hitters. We don't have to kill ourselves at this point in the race. In the same way that you get to the Olympic finals and there's very infrequently an Olympic record or a world record set at the Olympic finals in a long distance race like a 5K or a 10K because they want to game it because there's so much at stake. If you rewind to like Mo Farah in 2012 when they ran either the 5K or the 10K on the track in London.
I remember this.
And the commentators are there. And it's always really funny hearing the commentators going, and that is really slow. And they've run a lap in like 62. It's like someone's going to have to take it. And that's what I thought they were doing on that run. They were just kind of aiming it to
for fairness, I also thought they were doing that at the time. It was only after the race I actually found out what was going on.
That's really funny though. That's nice. That's a good insight.
So it is funny. But then off the back of that, nothing crazy really happened on the sled pull. But then we get to the burpees. First thing that people noticed on the burpees was that Hunter came in first and started burping down the lunge lane.
Right.
So on this separate part of the grid, they don't use the same sled lane. So they have a thing that looks like where you would do the burpees, but it's literally one lane.
Yeah.
They're supposed to burpee along that because there's more lines for the judges to be able to see if you're cheating or not. Immediately, Hunter's in the wrong lane. Now, I don't know if there's any ruling for that. I imagine there probably should be.
Probably.
What that did mean was whoever was second, and it might have been Tim at this point, or Ronk, also did the same because they're not going to be burping directly next to them. It then figured itself out through the field. But that was the first thing. The next thing was that Hunter got a penalty for overreaching. There is evidence online using some random lines that are there to say that he probably was.
Yeah.
But there wasn't apparently any warning given before the penalty. This is what Hunter said.
Okay.
Hunter then asked for clarification. The issue was that there was already a bad, there was bad blood between, not bad blood, but there was bad stuff going on between them because the athletes get a race briefing. Depending on who the judge is, depends on how they responded to one specific instruction. The athlete must know the entire briefing outlay. Hunter comes into the burpees and confirms, is this 4 lengths? Other athletes have confirmed that in the briefing, the person giving the briefing said burpees 5 lengths. Now, because it's a grid and Hunter knows it and was told it's 5 lengths for lunges, he comes into the burpees and as he's doing them, he's like, this is a bit long. Is this 4 lengths? Judge replies, you should know the answer to that. And he's like, okay, I know, but just to confirm, it's 4 lengths. She says, I can't tell you. So immediately he's not getting help from the judge. And like, that's not really help. That's like, just confirm to me that I'm not going to break any rules or I'm not going to do anything if I run off. Just like he could say, am I overreaching? And she could say no. He could say, am I going to break a rule by running off after 4? And she could say no, but instead she goes,
I don't.
so
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm again,
Yeah.
I'm on the fence. I understand why he's pissed. I understand that she's been told that that's the case. So
from
not
his
a great
first
relationship.
burpee, I was watching it and I said, "That's not 30 centimeters."
So we know that
And I can
Hunter, that
see
he's
that-
going to push it as much as he
yeah.
can, but he got this penalty, and there was a few other people that were getting penalties for similar things. So already drama's going off. We're like, okay, he's got this penalty.
Wait, can I read my quote from Hunter?
Yes,
because
please do.
This is my highlight from the whole weekend. I've written it out here. It's got to be somewhere, I'm sure. Maybe it's on my laptop. You're gonna have to fill the time whilst I get this.
I can fill it with my favorite quote. For those that didn't watch the press conference, obviously Tim and Hunter have a great back and forth, but he just started feeding the public about what Tim does for training, and one of it was roller skating.
Mate, Tim Venus has become significantly cooler in my mind now that I know that he does that.
And then what's more funny is, because it could be complete bullshit, but what's more funny is the day after the race, Adidas got Tim Venus some roller skates, and Tim was like, now I can get back into my off season, and he just roller skates off.
So sick. I like that. Like the person I've never seen. Well, this is the first season where I've been excited to watch the elites racing, but I think that's because there's been more shown their personalities, and like Puma have done a really good job of that, and HYROX are doing a really good job of that. But Hunter, on his Instagram post, and this was basically his first post, and it was like the debrief of the solo race. I don't know why I love it so much, but I think it's so eloquent and it's so Hunter, where he said, be fearless, accepted the consequences. And then this bit is so good. He said, live beyond their interpretation of your artistry. And I read that and I was like, that is unbelievable.
So he was also doing an Amazfit panel
Yeah.
a few days after, and he actually does a really, really nice job of speaking about being an athlete is being an artist, and talking about how you can paint the perfect painting, but you just run out of paint, or like, and there was so many things he was throwing in there, and just like, it's up for interpretation. Like your perfect painting might not be someone else's perfect painting, and one might be worth more than the other. Like, so much that it's really quite creative, but it's really good.
Yeah.
Moving through the race, there was another penalty that Hunter got, which was immediately revoked.
Yeah, was that the lunges?
It was on the lunges. And the interesting thing at this point was, so they're assigned a judge. So he was having the same judge. Once the penalty happened on the lunges and it was then immediately revoked, she was removed from judging him anymore.
Really? Because it was just like, oh, maybe she's out to get him.
So much was going on.
Yeah.
And so he then has finished the race and been like, well, why was she removed if she was so fair? Again, I think it was just possibly to stop a blow up. It was probably like, and just like reduce the stress and everything.
But so what I heard was that you could, once you knew I think you knew, I can't remember how they phrased it, but you could go and talk to the judges before you race and get their interpretation of the rulings. So you go, well, this is how I'm going to lunge. Is this me meeting the requirements of full extension, or this is how I'm going to burpee?
Yeah.
That for me is just like recipe for, I'm also going to slip you 10K.
Yeah. So it's interesting because what I found out this year from speaking to one of the judges was that they were assigned based on personality. So you were assigned someone, like if you were given a hot head, you were a more calm judge to like calm that down. But you're right, you do have an opportunity to discuss with them and make sure that judge. But it has happened for a very long time where in the briefings you have an opportunity after the briefing to go with a head judge and clarify what you're intending to do and if that's okay.
Yeah.
But this time it was, by the sounds of it,
judges.
with the judge that you're going to have.
It just seems like a recipe for bribery.
I completely agree.
Yeah. Or like almost like intimidation.
Yeah.
To go to the judge and be like, this is what I'm doing.
Big time.
Interesting.
Now then, we're going to get to the really juicy bit now. So we're going to bring Cole Learn back up.
Yeah.
He obviously got disqualified for finishing 1 meter short, arguably not even doing that.
Yeah.
The wall balls was extremely exciting. Dylan Scott came back from, I think, fifth or sixth position, maybe even lower down, and just wall balled out and managed to overtake everyone, get to the line.
Solid.
Just beat Tim.
Solid.
Now then we learned that Tim crossed the line and had only done 99 wall balls. Again, if we look at the rule book, the interpretation is that you get a 15-second penalty for every wall ball that you don't complete. I know people who may also be listening to this podcast that have also crossed the line, they were given a 2-minute penalty for being 1 rep short, but were also made to go back and do the rep and have that time added.
That was my main initial thought was like, get off your high horse and just go and finish the rep. Like, does he think he understands the rule book so well that
that's what he said?
He doesn't need to.
Because like, if I'd gone back,
I'm just going to get a 15-second penalty anyway.
Exactly.
But I was just like, it just doesn't look great. Just go and do them. But it was all a bit of a shambles because he had no idea that Dylan Scott was ploughing the way. And if Charlie Botterill is listening to this, I fully lost my mind screaming at the TV. So I was just like, it was really, really exciting.
We all basically had no voice for the rest
I'm
of the
not surprised, being there.
But
so there's more.
There's so much more. Yeah. So then what happened was, well, Louis Osleyer.
Yeah. Just kind of snuck in there.
Yeah. And then Hunter crossed the line.
Yeah.
And then Charlie eventually crossed the line. Now, from my perspective, this was a really strange series of events because Charlie crossed the line, was obviously delighted. He came 4th. Everyone had written him off, probably going to come in the last 5, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And he crossed the line in 4th. Unbelievable moment for his career. And finishing just behind his idol and the person that got him into the sport, Hunter. Yeah. And then we obviously learned that Tim was getting a 15-second penalty. And that was close, but not that close on Charlie's time. But what had been going on was around 30 wall balls. If you want to go back to the stream, it's 51 minutes and 47 seconds. We'll get to why I know this. 51 minutes and 47 seconds of the race clock. There starts to be a bit of an issue, and you notice Faisal on MC notices there's something wrong with Charlie's wall ball target.
All I saw was him like flapping his hand at something. I was like, what is going on?
Faisal tries to get the attention of the race director and points at, Faisal notices there's this issue. He gets the attention of the race director, Matlock, who then comes over and Faisal saying, look, the camera is in front of Charlie's target. What's happening is Charlie is trying to wall ball and the ball is hitting the target, which was doing one of two things. 1, stopping the ball from hitting the target, or 2, the ball was hitting the target, but the camera was in the way of the sensor.
So it wasn't registering.
So it wasn't registering as a rep, but it also wasn't registering as a no rep, which meant that the judge could do nothing about the fact that there was no rep being registered because he wasn't being able to see why. So this then happened. Nothing could be done about it because this was a piece of the camera that was broken that was hanging over the target. So it wasn't like they could move anything down below. Then one of the tallest judges comes over and does a really good job of jumping up to try and help clear it before eventually someone else has to come over and help him to get this thing removed. If you're watching this on the stream, using the camera angles available, it takes 22 seconds before the angle changes and we can no longer see if anything else is happening. In that time, Charlie registered 4 no reps. Then Charlie crosses the line and we get an announcement from Matt Locke that says 2 things. 1, Tim Venus is getting a 15-second penalty. 2, Charlie Botterill is being rewarded with 7 seconds. 7 seconds doesn't make sense. We've just said there's 22 seconds of interference, in which time Charlie didn't register a rep. What then happened was Charlie heard about this, and the change moved Charlie from finishing 5th to finishing 4th by a matter of half a second. Charlie was rewarded 6 seconds and came 4th by half a second. On the stream, the race director says 7 seconds, and it was changed after there's a visible conversation with Tim, and Tim mentioning Charlie's name and saying, I will finish after Charlie. So I don't know what happened there, but there's a lot going on, and I completely understand that it would have been a complete mess.
Yeah.
There's another level in that if Charlie was given the whole 22 seconds back, Charlie finished 18 seconds after Dylan Scott with the 6 seconds. So Charlie would have come second, not just third. He would have come second. You could also argue that without that happening, a lot of other things could have happened. So that has been taken away from Charlie. The difficulty is then also the time. Why was it only 7 seconds or 6 seconds when there was evidence for it being longer? So it all became a bit of a mess. I'm going to throw in a really early grind my gear here. For those of you that don't know, when you are an athlete and you want to appeal a race, you have 60 minutes from the last person finishing to do so. I don't know how many of you know this. It is illegal in the rules for you to run your race with your phone. which means that from the moment that last person finishes the race, you need to gather all of the evidence and you need to send the email with all of the evidence to stake your claim for this appeal, which is an incredibly difficult thing to do for an athlete because a lot of the athletes have to do post-race interviews.
Yeah.
Depending on where they finish, if they're in the top 3, they'll have drug testing, which they have to do straight away. They can't go anywhere else. So it was almost lucky that Charlie came 4th because he wasn't immediately taken for urine testing. It was also lucky because for some reason, on an evening where I was filming, I had my laptop and I post Charlie's YouTube, which means I'm logged into his Google. So that meant that Charlie then had access to send the email. So Charlie typed out the email and sent it to Matlock. And I think as a team, we managed to get it in with 1 minute left spare, which was a little bit stressful, but it was fine.
Yeah.
It wasn't perfectly worded, but it got the job done. We then didn't hear anything back for 24 hours before we were told, interestingly and quite legally, that athletes can only appeal unsportsmanlike conduct. They cannot appeal unfortunate events of the event, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Not to mention the fact that Tim could arguably have been disqualified and that could have given Charlie 3rd place. The problem is, yes, it's a bit of an issue with the competition and it's an issue for athletes competing to know that their race could be completely ruined by something out of their control and there's nothing they can do about it.
Yeah.
The biggest issue that people forget, because it is an absolute spectacle, is these guys do it for their living.
Yes. Yeah.
And these guys that have sponsors
Count on sponsors. Yeah. I was going to
have clauses within their sponsorships.
Yeah.
I don't know the financials for Charlie, but I know for a fact that Charlie has 3 to 4 main sponsors that will have clauses in there, plus the prize money difference alone. I can only imagine that's cost Charlie tens of thousands of pounds, and he hasn't got a reason as to why the time was what it was. And that's really the issue, is you're not just messing with results, you're messing with independent athletes' lives. So wasn't particularly impressed on Friday night.
It is really, really difficult. I think the 2 main things for me is, one, how Charlie handled it publicly was like really professional, and it was like, this is what I've been told, these are the facts, let's move on, this is sport. And I thought he handled it really, really well. The other one is how well he performed, and every single time the commentators on the feed are doing my head in, being like, Charlie did really well to qualify in Melbourne, then had 2 iffy results, Phoenix and Warsaw. And the whole time they were talking about him, like they'd completely written him off. And I was just like, I hope he's using that as fuel. And clearly it worked. And if at any other point throughout next season, the commentators look at Charlie and write him off, it's just like, come on. Yeah, like, you should know by now.
I think a lot of people
really well.
A lot of people have noticed it off the back of this weekend. He's a very different athlete. His mentality and mindset, which is exciting.
He did really well.
But let's move into the second day. We have the doubles. Now, we were actually a lot closer with our predictions on this one with the women's doubles. So Lauren Weeks and Vivian Tafuto did take the win. It was relatively convincing from the get-go. And then Sinead and Lucy.
So good.
Again, it was pretty clear they were going to come second for a large portion of the time as long as nothing went wrong. But great duo, so solid, and came through. Again, wasn't much drama in this race, which is quite nice and a bit of a relief.
Yeah.
But
they raced really clean. All of them,
And then our favourites of the show, really.
Yeah.
Lauren Stockley and Charlie Sell.
So we've got like 3 English girls and a Welsh girl. So like 4 Brits on the podium.
Yeah,
like,
we'll take ownership of all of them.
That's mental.
Yeah.
Like really, really good for the sport in the UK. And like they all ran an amazing race. And yeah, Sinead has had like an amazing weekend.
Yeah, big time. And she had a really good World Champs last year, and she's pretty much, I think,
super consistent.
Just gone one up on each of her results.
And,
so,
and
like,
I
really
think
good.
the beginning of this season, she had a load of time out from not training because of injury. So it's like, to have the season that she's had, fair play. Yeah,
really good from her. And she was straight off to an altitude camp.
Really?
Didn't even hang around for the after party or anything. Just
she's like,
straight
let's
off.
Go again.
Exactly.
I love that.
So then we follow that with the men's doubles. This one was exciting because we had Tim and Ronk, favourites. I think we had them as favourites as well.
Yeah.
But you can never ever write off Hunter McIntyre and Jake Williamson, Bulk Pony and Power Bottom.
So good.
The interesting thing behind the scenes that not a lot of people may have known because he tried to keep it as minimally public as possible, was that Jake had a broken foot 10 weeks out.
Yeah.
It was bad. I saw the X-ray of the foot. It was not good.
Do you know how he did it?
No, I think I probably do, but I've forgotten.
Yeah.
But it wasn't good.
Yeah.
And he went out there, and all things considered, with the interruption in training and everything like that, he looked great. The thing that he was struggling with was that it was his right foot. And on the grid, and people might not have seen this from the television at home, the grid was left-hand turn, so you're putting a lot of pressure on your right foot as you turn, and it was killing. The other thing that you didn't see, and not saying that HYROX is unprofessional in any way, but it was kind of banked on the outside because of where they put it. You know how at like football pitches, there's the flat surface and it banks. Because of the width of the grid that they had to run around, 2 of the ends were banked. So then you're running on a slight slant, nothing crazy.
But for someone with a broken foot.
On their outer foot, not ideal. But it was a great race all the way through. Really, really fast from both of those pairs.
Did they get a stick, like Jake got the rope tangled on some point on the sled? Did I see that?
There was some minor difficulties, but there was nothing. They did actually have to go. They left the sled pull and had to go back and just pull it again to cross the line. They lost a few seconds there, but it wasn't anything like race defining.
No, they looked solid. Hunter looked really good then as well.
Exactly. And then also Rich Ryan and Pelai Menendez.
Out of nowhere. They
came third. And I think last week I said that this could come down to wall balls to a penalty for third place. And it actually did.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, Ollie Russell and Charlie Bottrell had another incredible race. I've got to give major credit. They're straight away really funny after the lunges. Ollie Russell ran as fast as I've ever seen him.
Really?
It was terrifying how quick he was running off the back of it because they were just trying to stay with Rich and Pelai, knowing they had a penalty. Then Charlie overtakes Rich Ryan, and it's a meme photo. Rich looks over his shoulder and sees Charlie and is just in complete shock. And it really funny. But they came in just ahead of Charlie and Ollie.
Tight.
And then as a result of, so I think Charlie and Ollie finished pretty much the exact same time, but had to wait out their 15-second penalty. So it was done and dusted. But again, great performance from them. I said last episode, really Pelai has not even been in the Elite 15 solos at all this season. So really good to see him up there. And great for Rich, who is actually one of the oldest athletes in the field now, and has taken on a daughter this season. So
taken on new signing.
Yeah, new signing to the family. But yeah, so that was a really good race.
I think, is his name Menendez Hernandez or Hernandez Menendez? He's got the best name.
Yeah, it's
so good.
Final thing that we should probably run through quickly, the relay. Australia, Germany, England, in that order for first, second, third. That was actually a really fun race. I felt like last year it was quite serious. This season,
I feel like the whole
of
the experience for the athletes, or the outward perception, is that they're actually all just respect each other.
They have a lot of fun.
They might have like a little bit of banter back and forth, and that's driven a lot in the guys by Hunter, which is good for the sport because he creates the noise around it. But they understand what goes into it, and to be in the position they're in, they know what they're sacrificing, and you can feel that kind of respect. And so when they don't win, it's a bit like, oh, it's frustrating for me or whatever, but I'm happy for that person.
Yeah,
it did just feel a little bit more friendly and fun.
Big time. I think one of the interesting things about the relay was that the order, I feel like for most people that do mixed relays, they kind of understand where girls should do. So for example, you usually have a girl doing the wall balls because the target's lower, it's a quicker rep speed. And then things like the ergs, you pretty much leave to the boys. This was extremely exciting from the perspective of it was just the Elite 15 men doing the ski erg and the first run. So it was faster than the men's solo race.
Testosterone.
It was crazy.
Yeah, I bet.
But that was really good to watch. Again, inside intel, pretty sure Charlie Bottrell threw up after the ski erg, so then had to clean himself up and go back out on the row.
God, that was painful.
It was actually really exciting to watch because there were different dynamics. So you had all of this overtaking going on between the men and the women. I will tell you right now, the athlete that was the most impressive throughout the whole relay was James Kelly.
Really?
He was flying around. And after a pretty below par weekend for him, it was really nice actually to see him just absolutely killing it out there. And as much as Australia won quite convincingly, they didn't have Joanna.
Yeah, I know.
So this was one of the weird things.
So weird. And same with like the England team.
Yeah, which actually got more complicated because Kat Parnell was supposed to be in there. So this was, for those that were wondering why these athletes weren't there, it was done on points. So previously the captains had a say of who was chosen. They still had captains, but there was no captain's decision in who was chosen. It was done on the number of points you were as an individual athlete. So it was supposed to be Kat Parnell. But Kat, after her race and the ACL issue she had, decided it wasn't a good idea for her to continue racing. Absolutely fine. And then it was a bit of a question, well, who's going to step in? So fair enough to Jess Towell for stepping up with, I think, less than 24 hours notice.
Yeah, it's always the way.
And she absolutely held her own and did enough for us to stay on the podium, which I think is actually better than potentially we did last year. I can't remember. We came fourth or third.
My favorite was the football shirts, whether it was like racing in the football shirts, but all of the media with the Elite 15 in the lead up, whether it was Puma or Adidas or whoever was doing the marketing and organizing all of the media, like Tim Veenish was sat there in his Adidas Germany top. Like, I think HYROX gets bad rep because it's not particularly cool, and like some of the top athletes aren't particularly cool. But they've done a really good job to make it a bit more accessible from a viewer's perspective.
Yeah, big time.
The whole production value for the Elite 15, like you can see that it is progressing towards where they want it to be, lobbying for an Olympic sport. And you watch something like CrossFit now, the production value is so poor. And like the stream always breaks and whatever. And it's just like there's one angle and it just looks like it's being filmed on potato. But you're getting athlete introductions and everything. And you get to learn about the athletes and what they're doing. And yeah, there's obviously a lot of money behind it, but it's coming together. And it's now a sport that I look at and go, I could definitely see this in the Olympics and I could definitely watch this. And it's not like taking 3 hours of my life to watch, unless you sit and watch like back-to-back races, but like they're done in 50 minutes. It's in and out, you're done.
I have one more piece of massive news from the weekend.
Oh no, are you allowed to share this?
I'm going to share it. The after party.
Oh no.
Charlie Botterill had a beer. Charlie Botterill did the worm.
No.
In front of everybody in a big old circle and absolutely awfully stained his t-shirt.
I was going to say, as long as he hasn't hurt himself.
But I also did have, inside this sort of widened circle, good. I did have Tim Veenish slut dropping and bouncing off his ankles like he was in a lederhosen at Oktoberfest. It was incredible. But
God, I wish I'd seen that.
Yeah,
That's
funny weekend.
Yeah, I bet.
Anybody with any videos of anything from that night, I think the athletes would appreciate if they never touch social media. Shall we move on to grind my gears?
I think so. Let's do it.
Cool. So grind my gears for me, I'm going to keep it HYROX related. I'm going to keep it work related. Media access from HYROX this week was a joke. For the first time ever, I was media accredited for HYROX.
Big day.
Big day.
Huge. High vis.
Turned up on time for my briefing.
Yeah.
Got walked around the stadium.
Nice.
And was shown everywhere I could go. And was reminded at every single point that you are allowed to go where spectators are allowed.
Oh, nice.
And the question then followed, where can we go? Spectators aren't allowed. There isn't a place. If you have this box on the back of your pass ticked, you can stand in the finish area zone for media. Okay, cool. I don't have that. I think only 4 people had it. We get around to the finish zone area and the person asks the question, where are we allowed that the spectators and apparently the rest of this 20 media group, you're allowed it in that little pen over there. Excuse me, that little pen doesn't have a view of the finish line. No, we know it's covered off. Okay, why would we want to be there? Well, you can do one-to-one interviews post-race with athletes as soon as they finish, as long as they come over to you, because you can't leave it. It was the biggest joke, and
But why? Because they're protecting their media team?
Big time. And the problem is that you've got people from like partners, not just sponsors, partners of the event, and you've got the marketing directors that are there like, why are we paying you? For reference, Centre provide all the equipment, apart from the Concept 2s, but Centre provide all that equipment and aren't allowed to shoot really any of it any other than other people. And with it being the elite races, this time everyone was kept to the stands, apart from the bridge to the wall balls. So to actually get around the grid, you are running round the stadium, which is not a quick transition to do.
Mental.
So yeah, it was a little bit silly. I did a ridiculous amount of steps.
Yeah, I bet.
Up and down. I think I told you I rolled my ankle in the last episode.
Yep.
Rolled my ankle 3 times this weekend. Same one.
Same ankle. Nice.
Same ankle.
Yeah, well done.
Just on repeat. My ankle is now double XL in all clothing.
But off the back of that, you know how they did they stopped LSKD and other brands posting. Did you see that?
I did see
Did you
that.
see all of them, the LSKD,
I did.
the like their activation posts out on social media?
Now,
So good.
we know LSKD.
Yeah.
I don't want to ruin this for you because I think it was brilliant.
Yeah.
I think the whole thing was a marketing ploy,
Yeah,
and it
of
did
course it
really
was.
well. But
That was great though.
I think they were told probably after 1 or 2 posts to stop about a different race. And they went, we can turn this into something that gets a lot of eyes.
Yeah.
So let's do it.
Yeah.
But
I think
like you
I
said,
think
they absolutely
100%.
killed it.
Yeah, they did a really good job. And off the back of that, it made me remember. So a lot of the stadiums in the States for the World Cup, a lot of them for American football, they're sponsored by. So like the Gillette Stadium.
Yeah.
There's obviously, did you see this? The Levi's Stadium.
Yeah. The what stadium? I think it's just blank.
Yeah. But then do you see? They obviously covered it up. But then to go one step further, you go on their social media, on their Instagram, on their logo in the little corner, it's covered up. And then all of their storefronts also covered up. And it's all of those memes where it's like, no one will ever know.
Yeah.
They won't know.
So Levi's,
So good.
off their own back.
Yeah.
So Levi's as the company changed their own logo to be a covered up thing.
Yeah.
Because then effectively what has happened is the
No,
World
you
Cup
know.
has made a new logo. So they just
It's
own
just
the
like
new logo.
marketing genius,
It's genius.
everywhere. Like, it's so clever.
But it went as far to the extent, did you see that Heinz ketchup, Hellman's mayonnaise, it all had tape on throughout the whole stadium and every single booth and every single box, every single
Whose job
logo.
has that been?
To the even further, one of the players that's sponsored by Beats had to put tape over the Beats logo while they warmed up.
Not surprised.
Apparently, the World Cup has got the strictest non-compete rules.
So I also saw, and I can't quote numbers now, but obviously they have the water breaks because of the hot weather.
Yeah.
And obviously there's speculation that those water breaks are actually there just for advertisement.
Well, considering that the water breaks are required in indoor climate-controlled stadiums.
Yeah. So it's like someone worked out how many water breaks there were per match and then how many matches were going to be played and then how much FIFA were charging for advertisement slots depending on the like scale of the game. So like the finals more expensive and it just like millions and millions and millions of dollars just for this advertising rights to get your company on. And that's, I guess that's what the World Cup is. And for FIFA, it's a money-making machine.
What you might notice in a lot of modern sport is the American influence.
For sure.
So,
Ruining everything.
yeah, basically, we've now got 4 quarters football
Yeah.
on the international stage.
Yeah.
That's actually what it is.
Yeah.
And then even with things like Formula One, they brought in sprint races because retention for full races wasn't coming. So like you do sprint races, but you also have more events, which means more ads.
Yeah.
Qualifying now has slightly longer, I believe, between qualifying rounds for more
Same
ads.
6 nations, every half, there's one on-screen ad during play. It's usually when a scrum's on or whatever.
Exactly.
But like that was introduced this year. That was a grind my gear at the beginning of this year.
You can't even get out of it when you go to the games because, I mean, you're still going to experience the water break. And then what do? You just look up at the screen because they're going to play an ad for you. It's crazy.
It's crazy. Good way to make some money.
You've got a few on here, actually.
So I think this one's annoying more so because I'm a Northampton Saints fan. So when they got into the Prem final last weekend, you look at tickets and it's like obviously extortionate to get to the Allianz to see them play at Twickenham. I then saw like crazy amount of influencers get invited down. Now, lots of those influencers I know enjoy rugby. I see them, they're always posting about it. They'll go off their own back to go and watch rugby. Lots of those influencers though probably never been to a rugby game in their lives, probably have no care in the world about rugby, never made any rugby content, probably never interact with any rugby content, probably actively avoid watching rugby, probably have never watched a rugby game on TV. And they're getting like toured around the changing rooms. They get to go in the Saints changing room. They get to stand by the trophy. They get hospitality at the game. I'm like, I'm a fan.
Yeah.
Why are you inviting me? Oh, it's annoying.
What annoys me more is when the same influencer will post something like, post that stupid content, look where it gets you. And it's like, watch the game.
Yeah.
I can see it's going on in the background.
Yeah.
You have no clue what's going on.
I know.
It is annoying. My last one
Just jealous.
is that, HYROX related again, is that people that, depending on where they finish, you might come 25th in your age category, which, don't get me wrong, you're better than me.
Yeah.
But you aren't 25th in the world. because you're forgetting there's a whole elite level ahead of you, and there's people that qualified for the elite, so therefore, or like were brink of the elite and therefore could not race in the standard. Like, there's so much going on. I hate it when someone wins and they go, "Oh my gosh,
I'm world champ."
World champ.
Now, that's not on them. That's on HYROX. There needs to be a different term for you winning your age category, because they're then slapping it all over their HYROX social media. It's like, world champ in 24 to 29 age category is this. And I'm like, no, the elites are the world champions.
Exactly.
It's the same as like if I played in like Sunday League and we won our league and I'm like, we've won the Prem. It's like, it's not the same thing. It's like, if I go down to the local athletics meet and I win 400 meters, I'm not instantly British champ.
Exactly.
It's like when you win the NBA, you're not a world champion of basketball.
Yeah.
There needs to be some sort of terminology change there. But I like the fact that HYROX takes... I don't necessarily quote them as everyday athletes, because if you're managing to qualify for world champs now, you're definitely not just an everyday athlete. But they are normal people, and they're not probably doing it full time. But I like that HYROX are taking them, they're giving them this world championship experience and putting them on the pedestal, and on the day you feel like you are an elite level athlete. And I love that, and you get your medal, and it's a really big achievement, and I think that's really cool. And there was lots of good brand activation around it, like the Station 00 from Nike. Like, all of their activation was really cool over the weekend. But yeah, you're not world champ, are you?
No offense to Nike, you absolutely lost the activation battle. Because
really?
I don't know, you might have seen more from social media,
Maybe,
which is why you thought it was cool. If you're listening to this and you're at the World Champs, you probably didn't even know Nike did an activation.
Oh, really?
Because it was 2 streets back from the stadium on a street that people don't walk past. There was no footfall. Also, it was a building covered in Nike. There wasn't really an obvious front door unless you were stood in front of it. Adidas.
Yeah.
Absolutely stole the whole show. They had this whole hotel in Stockholm city centre.
Cool.
Nike, by the way, this is actually really cool. This is a cute moment from me to everyone. I walked around the whole of Stockholm, and all the photos that I took in Warsaw of Nike athletes were everywhere.
Really?
All my photos, literally on every billboard, from the airport to train stations, the high streets, everything. It was crazy.
That's awesome.
It was really cool.
Yeah.
But Adidas was also everywhere. Adidas got this whole hotel and 2 office blocks over that are connected by a bridge, and put a whole gym on the top floor, knowing it was going to be lovely weather. And they had the World Cup, 2 bars, recovery zones, free drinks, free food.
I saw your video of you on the treadmill.
Yep.
Okay.
And you're just overlooking the city on a skyscraper, training. And they had events up there. They got any athlete that finished on the podium at any level was done in a champagne announcement that evening. If they were wearing Adidas, like, it was,
I think like
really
there's so much scope now within this space, because fitness has become so big. The sport of HYROX has grown so big. But if you work in marketing for a company that has a lot of budget, doing activations like this, and even the people that we know who train with the Unbeatables, like, even them being taken, I think they hired out Everyman Cinema, and they were all like, this, you're watching yourself on screen, like, how can you not think that is freaking freaking awesome? And they give you a suitcase full of stuff to wear, and it's like, now I feel like an elite level athlete. And like, I think I give Nike a lot of shit, because I think they're losing the battle in HYROX, and they missed the boat on HYROX for sure. And now they're trying to like claw back. And I think they're doing a good job of that. Their presence within the sport of HYROX has definitely grown over the last probably season, maybe season and a half. But yeah, it's like, it's a really fun space to be in, and seeing those activations is really cool.
Talking of fun spaces, should we do a quick game?
You know how to switch across. Yeah, of course. I'm going to pull my laptop up.
Okay.
Make sure you might see it as well.
Sure.
All right. I'm glad you never posted the video of me pouring water all over my laptop screen when
I've really thought about it. For those that aren't aware, last episode we were recording and Charles got bored, so just decided to pour his water bottle on his laptop.
Oh shit.
It's still clearly working.
The behind the scenes, I think we're all right. We're all right. Okay, so it's less of a game, it's more of the this and that.
Okay.
But what you've got is an hour-long session with each of these sporting legends. And you have to decide between which one you want to do and which one you don't want to do.
Okay.
And they're going to hopefully increase in level of athlete and session that you're going to do. So we're going to start. And this one is really, really difficult for me when I was writing it. Will you take a 1-hour tennis lesson with Emma Raducanu, Or are you taking a 1 hour golf lesson with Rory McIlroy?
A 1 hour golf lesson with Rory McIlroy. Sorry, Emma, but like, he's the GOAT.
Easy for him. So
he's not the GOAT. He's the next GOAT.
Rory McIlroy, or you get a goal kicking session with Johnny Wilkinson.
I think still Rory McIlroy.
Okay. Rory McIlroy, or you're going to get a pole vault introduction with Mondo Duplantis.
That would be so funny.
So funny. See how little you'd take away from that, despite how good he is as an athlete, how good he might be as a coach, but for your level and ability at pole vault versus how helpful golf would be.
I think that I would need to do the golf. There's two reasons. One, I have simply decided that if I'm with Rory McIlroy, we're on a really nice course when we're doing this. That sounds
probably in
great.
his garden in Florida,
yeah,
aren't you?
exactly.
Yeah.
And the other with Mondo Duplantis, I'm getting hurt.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to run at that thing, and the pole is going in my face.
I think also, like, he'd look at you and go, you're probably not going to do any pole vaults today.
You're heavy, mate.
yeah. We're just going to learn how to, like, jump up and down for a bit. It's like an hour long doing that, maybe not worth it.
He's going to see me run one time and be like, you're not fast enough.
Yeah, you're literally, Okay, so you're still with Rory McIlroy. Okay, Rory McIlroy, or you get to do a track session with Keely Hodgkinson.
Oh, that's really tough.
But then I'm like, think what you're going to get out of the golf lesson. Versus, like, she can tell you all about how she trains. She could even give you the session that you can do. You can do it with her and watch her run away from you. But the hour long isn't going to be necessarily that helpful for your fitness and speed. You have to go away and do that in your own time.
Yeah.
But think how, like, I'm helping you with the game.
No, so I think I would get more out of the Rory McIlroy thing. And I think if I was going to be given a red letter day of those two as a present, I would take the Rory McIlroy. But I'm going to go with Keely Hodgkinson because I have a fundamental belief that she is going to break the world record. And it would be really cool to meet her, get to know her for an hour, and like see how hard she trains with the inevitability that that's probably going to happen.
There you go. Cool. We've knocked Rory McIlroy off. So this one for sure, no-brainer. Either Keely Hodgkinson, or you get a darts masterclass with Luke Littler. Because that's going to be a good hour as well.
That's a good hour.
Really good hour.
The thing is, I wouldn't even want a masterclass from him. I just want to beat him in like a game around the world. But it would just be not even close. I'd be like, one dart, you play with your eyes closed.
Yeah.
I think I'm sticking with Keely.
Okay. Keely, or a ski masterclass with Eileen Gu.
Again, there's high injury risk there because she's acrobatic.
Yeah, she's like, we ain't learning how to backflip today.
Yeah.
Oh, these are getting so good.
Do you know what? I'm going to say the one with Eileen Gu.
Really?
I'm a better skier than I am a runner.
There you go.
So I think
you might get more out of it.
I think I'd have more fun as well.
Oh, okay, fine. Okay, Eileen Gu, or skateboarding session with Tony Hawk.
I wouldn't take the skateboarding session with Tony Hawk because I know how bad I am at skateboarding, and it would make me really upset that he's that old and so much better than me.
He's so cool.
Yeah.
He's so good. Okay, fine. So we're sticking with Eileen.
Sorry, just you give me an hour, I don't think I'd be able to ollie.
No,
let alone kickflip.
No, he's teaching you like how to push.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Eileen Gu, or a driving lesson with Lewis Hamilton.
Driving lesson with Lewis Hamilton.
Easy,
straight away.
Okay.
I'll teach him everything I know.
He would just be so cool and like elusive, and just be like, oh yeah, that'd be amazing. I'd be so nervous meeting Lewis Hamilton. Like all these people we've spoken about, I'd be like bricking myself.
I think I'd be less nervous now that I know that he's gone with Kim Kardashian, because I'm like, you're not perfect, are you?
No comment. Lewis can do no wrong. He's so cool,
it would be cool if she was in the back as well, though. Like, it would be cool to be like, hi Kim.
Yeah. You're going around a corner at 30 miles an hour, shitting yourself. Lewis does this much quicker. Okay, Lewis Hamilton, or a surfing session with Kelly Slater.
Oh, that
would be sick.
So hard for me.
The guy loves to surf.
I think I'd go to the surfing session.
Is that based off you think you're better at surfing than you would be at driving a car?
I'm thinking practically, I'm not legally allowed to do most of what anything Lewis would tell me. It would be fun for an hour.
Yeah.
But like, I could learn so much from Kelly Slater.
And actually go and apply it.
Yeah, and like, riding a wave is possibly like top 2 feelings I've ever had in my life. So like, if I can go away and just do that as many times as I like on my own as a result of spending that hour with him. Great.
Yeah. Okay. So you've gone Kelly Slater.
Yeah.
Or swimming lesson with Michael Phelps.
Kelly Slater. If I'm doing anything with Michael Phelps, I want to do a calorie challenge.
That would be sick.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, so we're still with Kelly Slater. Or interval session with Paula Radcliffe.
It's cool, but I would still go Keely over Paula, unfortunately. So I'm going to stick with Kelly.
Fair. Okay, Kelly. Or a batting session with Sachin Tendulkar.
That would be sick, but I couldn't put anything into practice with him because he's like 5 foot nothing.
I think you'd probably still be able to help.
I don't know. Like, dude, you're shit. And I'd be like, you can touch the floor with the bat. I can't.
I need a longer bat, bro. Okay, fine. So we'll stick with the surfing. Okay. Back to golf then. You can either go surfing with Kelly Slater or you get putting practice with Nelly Corder. Surfing. Fine. All right then. Surfing or you get a sparring session with Paddy Pimblett. The guy's going to beat the shit out of you.
Yeah.
Most unproductive hour of your life.
I actually somewhat don't hate myself, so I think I'm going to go with Kelly Slater still.
Fine. Kelly Slater or serve masterclass with Serena Williams.
See, that's difficult because I still think she's probably the best athlete of all time.
Really?
Athlete
of all time?
Yeah. I mean, you've said that tennis is the best athlete in the world, and I'm thinking that she's probably historically the best of the lot.
That's a big thing.
There you go.
I can't wait for that episode.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily disagree.
I'm going to step off that court after 1 hour and just not retain anything in my physical ability. So is the conversation better than being able to surf
with Kelly Slater? Probably.
And for the rest of my life, probably not.
Yeah. Okay. God.
Kelly's doing really well.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. Hang on. So penalty shootout practice with Lionel Messi. Top goal scorer in the World Cup of all time.
Nah, penalties I'm just not that bothered about. Like, you just absolutely slap it and see if it goes in or not.
I was expecting you to...
Look, penalties is if you're really good, you put it exactly where you want it, and in theory, no goalkeeper's saving it. If you're not goated level and that confident, then it's a 50-50 odds that the keeper saves it in some way, maybe.
But also, like, when are you going to apply that? Like, when are you going to go and play football?
So true.
Yeah.
And like, if I go to a Sunday league match or a 5-a-side and I score a penalty and I turn around and I'm like, well, obviously I was going to score that because Lionel Messi shared my kick of ball, I'm just going home.
Yeah, literally.
I'm going home.
Okay, fine. Well, we're still surfing. We've got a few more. Let's rattle through them. So surfing or shooting practice with LeBron James. I mean, it would be good.
That's really tough.
Get on court and...
Would he teach me how to slam dunk?
He could do whatever. Imagine.
I could be really good at basketball if he showed me how to dunk. I might go LeBron James.
Yeah, I think
I have to.
Yeah.
Sorry, Kelly.
LeBron or snowboarding lesson with Shaun White?
Snowboarding lesson with Shaun White straight away. Sorry, LeBron. You're out.
Easy. Okay, fine. Well, then you've got a sprinting session with Usain Bolt.
It's gonna gain me nothing.
But you get to spend an hour.
I do.
With Usain Bolt.
Yeah, I do, but I'm gonna come away slower because I'm gonna know what I do wrong, and I'm gonna be so focused on that I'm gonna come out of that slower before I get faster.
Ruptured hamstrings.
And again, when am I gonna use it? When I'm running away or running after a bus. And again, I'm not getting on the bus.
Mechanics like hitting buttons. Yeah.
If I get on the bus driver's like, wow, you caught up. And you're like, actually, I had a 1 hour lesson with Usain Bolt. I'm just going home.
Yeah. Okay, fine. So we stick with Shaun White.
Yeah.
Okay, or arm day with Ronnie Coleman.
Arm day with Ronnie Coleman.
God, you have to.
That lasts for life.
Okay, Ronnie Coleman or go-karting with Max Verstappen.
Ronnie Coleman.
Okay, gymnastics session with Simone Biles or arm day with Ronnie Coleman.
Arm day with Ronnie Coleman.
Okay, we've got the last two. So you've got arm day with Ronnie Coleman after all that, or a bike session with Tadej Pogacar.
Am I a bike session? Am I trying to hold what?
I think it's the same as like what you do with Keely.
Okay.
He might teach you how to ride your bike.
Okay. No offense to Tadej, but I don't feel like we'd have that great of a conversation. In all the times I've seen him speaking, he does come across like he would rather be on the bike elsewhere and not chatting. So yeah, no.
Okay, fine. So we've got Arm Day with Ronnie Coleman. This is the last one, and I think this is going to be an easy one for you as well. Or a 1 hour throwing lesson with Tom Brady.
Definitely a 1 hour throwing lesson with Tom Brady. I think it would just be the most satisfying thing. And I've recently watched a YouTuber, Will Tennyson, go to Tom Brady's house and play and like just play catch with him. Sick. It's just sick. And Will's so bad. And I'm like, oh.
So do you reckon Tom Brady, because he was the last one, do you think he would have topped everything?
I think it's actually remarkably close between Kelly Slater, Shaun White, and Tom Brady. Yeah. But there was some really good ones. That was actually a really good quiz.
Yeah, that's fun.
What do you reckon you'd have gone with if you had to pick one now?
I'm probably playing golf with Rory.
Yeah.
But then I don't know, like I basically just went through all of this, like my sporting idols, like people who I respect in the world of sport, like running with Paula Radcliffe, running with Keeley, throwing darts with Luke Littler, like
driving with Lewis Hamilton as well.
Oh my God, yeah. Or like even go-karting with Max Verstappen, like meeting Tadej Pogacar.
Well, do you know what? My family and my friends get really annoyed when I don't do a birthday list. That's my birthday list. Thanks very much.
Yeah, easy.
Well, I've really enjoyed that. Let us know, you guys, what you would have chosen out of that list. Likewise, while we have you, if you haven't gone and got your grip socks, then I can tell you from World Champs, you would be uncool if you were racing without grip socks. So if you would like to go and get some, head to HYROX or High Style Clothing. Use code MindSet15, it gives you 15% off. Get that stock sorted before they go a bit mental as the races come back around. And you can get to using them in the off season and get used to them, which is something I would recommend. Other things to mention, at MindSets_podcast, that is where you'll find us on social media, both TikTok, Instagram. You'll also be able to use that on YouTube, which is where you should absolutely be subscribing. And if you don't feel like subscribing, do you know what? I'm not going to hold it against you this time. It's still free, but I'm not going to hold it against you, because you can go over and you can follow us on Spotify, which is actually cool because like ahead of the trend. Some people will be listening to that, don't think I can do that. Yes, you can.
You can.
You can. And we appreciate every single one of you that does.
You can comment and leave 5-star reviews.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the other stars don't work. I'm telling you that. Please don't test it. Please don't test it. Just test out if that 5 works. I think that nicely brings us to the end of the episode. Anything else from you?
That's it, I think.
In which case, I look forward to seeing you all in the next episode.